Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of What Are You, the best podcast in the Midwest. uh, how's everybody?
We're here. We're here. Yeah. How about you all?
Doing all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's the same consistent for everybody.
Yeah. Definitely agree.
I'm doing pretty good, personally.
Nice.
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
leaving the house
Yeah.
and stuff. I don't have to be responsible.
Well, I'm driving myself up a wall. I have like papers that I get done, and I'm like stressing.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is a great tie into today's topic episode, stress management. But we also have a guest. So Gabby, I want to give you some time to do your intro, to briefly just talk about yourself and what department you're working in and everything like that.
Okay. So let's see how to talk about myself. My name is Gabby, and I work for CII, the Center for Identity and Inclusion. I am the website designer, as well as doing a few other things. So I help other directors out with like their events or their information, or I'll be working with DRS over the summer
Mhm.
and collaborate with CII and DRS over the summer.
For those of you who don't know, DRS is the Disability Resource Services at
Yes.
CW.
Thank you, Oma.
You're welcome.
And let's see, what else? I think I'm a junior. I don't know what year I'm in. I think I'm a junior. But yeah, I also have my own podcast, if that's okay to say.
Yeah. Go ahead and introduce your podcast and like what you all talk about.
Okay, so my podcast is called Actively Autistic. It's called Actively Autistic because I am autistic, but I'm also active in like the community and what I'm trying to do. So the podcast just kind of revolves around autism and helps educate people about like kind of being on the autism spectrum, and we also have bonus episodes where we just talk about anything. And so it's just kind of like an educational platform, but also I've built a community of people who can just come and talk and hang out and ask questions and have fun. So yeah.
Woohoo!
Nice.
Yeah. Gabby is also the treasurer for MBSA. That's also something I needed to shout her out for. But yeah, Gabby's very, 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 very hardworking at CII. And we talk a lot about like stress and the daily stresses and stuff. So definitely perfect guest for this episode.
You're
So
making me blush.
So we're just gonna go ahead. Before we get a little bit more into the topic that we're going into, we just want to give a reminder of how our episodes for What Are You are going to go for the rest of the semester. So they will be on Zoom. We will have this available via YouTube, so you'll be able to actually watch us interact with each other. Hopefully once the academic school year begins next year, that we'll be able to have all the different platforms again, from SoundCloud to YouTube to Instagram Live. So yeah. So the world's kind of crazy right now, and we're not going to get too much into how we're handling stuff with COVID at the moment, but stress management just in general, even if this wasn't going on, all of us would probably still be really stressed right now. Chelsea and I have graduation coming up. Midterms are done, but the finals are right around the corner. I know, Ray, like just being in graduate school, like April is that month that like the month before finals is that month where like there's a bunch of papers due, there's a lot of projects due.
Yeah.
And then we are just like, well, I'll be done, but last year was like, oh cool, so I'm gonna get like a couple weeks break and then I'm going right back to summer classes. So it's just this big ball of all the stresses ever And so we think it's really important to talk about stress management and how we personally handle our own stresses. So what are some of the things that you all do, like, I guess if this wasn't happening, but like what are some of the things that you usually do to relieve stress? Because it does look different for everyone. I feel like everyone has that general like eat and make sure you sleep plenty and like make sure you're eating all of your vegetables and all this stuff. And I'm like, that's cool, but also it's really hard to say like there's gonna be a lot of nights where I don't get my 8 hours of sleep. So what do you all do personally to make sure that you all don't get too overwhelmed or too stressed?
For me personally, I usually go to like the gym or try to get some exercise or something like that. Definitely, I haven't done that in a while. I miss my gym, but definitely, I try to like get some kind of physical like activity going on. Was it? I've been playing the Wii Switch games, which some of them have like motion controls, so I'm like, up and at them, and like I feel good afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And like just definitely like gaming, like it kind of takes my mind off of things in a way that like I have to like manage, of course, but at the same time like I'm interacting with friends online,
Right.
doing all these objective things, and then I'm like, okay, I need to put this down, and then I can like I feel a bit more refreshed.
I go swimming and I go swinging, or I go for walks. Mainly out in nature. I don't like walking near like busy streets or anything like that. My community college, Front Range Community College, in the back just has this beautiful little open space, and there's like a river, and just it was so beautiful. So on my most stressful days, I would either go by myself, which I very rarely did just because there are some creepy people who hang out back there. Um, but I'd also go with like one of my best friends. I would go with my friend Q, and we would just walk around for an hour, either talking or just listening to the sounds of nature. And I know that that's definitely something that's really calming for me. Being at CU Denver, it's more swimming, and just kind of like hanging out and doing a few laps, but then also allowing myself to like float on my back, pray that the lifeguards don't think that I'm dead. um, but just kind of stuff like that, It's just that's the really calming part. That's how I would manage my stress. Yeah.
What about you, Chelsea?
For me, well, first and foremost, I sleep. Because then I forget about it. I wake up from my like 2-3 hour nap. I know those aren't considered naps, but to me they are. But I usually like watch like funny videos or look at memes. I just look on my Facebook timeline. Everybody's always posting something that probably will just like cheer me up, which it always does. And what's also helpful is if I talk to folks who are feeling the same way and stressing about the same thing, so that makes me feel like I'm not alone.
Yeah, I think my like stress management definitely changes depending on the mood that I'm in or kind of what I'm into at that moment. But I like writing a lot, whether that's like journaling or actually like creating like my own stories or storylines. I sing, I do music. That's like my OG escape, is like either listening to music or singing or playing an instrument or whatever it might be. Gabby, I definitely agree with you with going outside. That's a huge thing, especially like living in Colorado here. There's plenty of trails you can go to, and depending on how long you want to relieve stress for, you can find something that's like 20 minutes long. You can find something that's like 8 hours long. So there's really just an endless amount of like outside activities here. I do work out. I'm trying to get back to a routine this week of working out. So we'll see how that goes. And then what else do I do? I play video games a lot too. especially recently. Like Breath of the Wild was like definitely like a big one because I was like, I have spent over 120 hours on that game. And so it's really easy to just get lost in that.
My boyfriend Nathaniel could probably relate to you on the Breath of the Wilds thing. When I first started like hanging out here, and I'm living at his house with his parents right now. But when he first introduced me to the Switch, he's like, "You need to play this game. I love this game. Play Breath of the Wild." And I was like, "Okay." And like it's in the living room though, and so like anybody walking by or sitting at the family computer can just like stare at what I'm doing. And so it super stresses me out. And so I bought a Switch purely for Animal Crossing. And I got it on Saturday, and I was like, I'm so excited I get to play Animal Crossing, and we get to have our own island. And he was like, is it okay to admit that I'm like really sad and disappointed that you don't want to play Breath of the Wilds?
No, it's a new game. Animal Crossing just came out. You have time to play Breath of the Wild. Like, it's just, I mean, I was really late coming to the game for Breath of the Wild. So, I mean,
Yeah.
you have time. You have plenty of time to get to that game. Trust me, it is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anything, I put Animal Crossing before Breath of the Wild first too. So like
It does seem like a really fun game though, from what I've played.
Oh yeah.
But
No.
now that I have my own Switch, I don't know, I might have to start over again with the game, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be fun figuring everything out again.
I mean,
Haha.
it's worth it. But so that's nice to hear, like all the things that you all usually do. And now we have this whole big mess that happened called coronavirus. And so we're all kind of quarantined. And so I think it's really beneficial to hear from each other, like how our stress management has changed during this time, because I feel like it has for everyone, to be completely honest. So like how have you like adapted to being at home and having to deal with the stress here, and like who's helping you or what's not helping you? I know for me, like I'm definitely a lot more irritable being at home, just because I'm very like, I don't know, like I just, things are bothering me a little bit more than I feel like they would usually if like I had work and then coming back here. But like I don't know, it's definitely, I've had to calm myself down a lot more since being at home. And so like my stress management, like I can't really go hiking really anymore. And of course it's like getting beautiful. Like it's gorgeous outside right now. And it was yesterday too. But I can't do that. Like I can't play in our band anymore because that's canceled at the moment. And so singing and stuff like that, that's been more of like me doing that on my own rather than doing it with other people, which is a whole other experience. Like I don't know, music is just so much better in my opinion when you do it with other people. And so mine has had to be a lot more of that like creative writing or reading or playing video games type of thing, but also trying not to play too many video games at the same time because I can get really disconnected. And then I think also FaceTiming and doing Zoom sessions or hangouts or whatever. And it's not hangouts. What is it? It's like house party. That's what it's called. I just said house party the other day with my friends, which is a cool little app that you can like play games with each other on there. And so
is it on your phone?
Yeah, you can do it on your phone. Your like if you have a tablet, it's available on there too. It's really fun. So yeah, I've had to cut out a lot more of my stress management things that I usually do and really amp up the ones I know right now.
True.
That's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to try that. We actually, I'm gonna need to start extending this offer out to you too. But we have a CII hangout room on GroupMe, and it has basically everybody but the big people.
Don't invite me to it then.
But we
Don't
got
invite me to
together.
it. Have it with just the
I don't
student.
know. I think it was the night before last, and we played Jackbox.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah,
But
we were all on Zoom.
Leave it with you all. Just leave it with
Just
you all.
the
Leave me
spirit.
out of it. Yeah, it's all good. I understand. I did the same thing happened with the pals. I'm sure you know. Like they have a regular pal GroupMe, and then they have a fun GroupMe. Yeah, there's a fun one, and there's a not fun one, and we're just gonna leave it at that.
Joe's like, man, we don't do any of this.
Yeah.
Where's
We're just fun all the time. But yeah, how have you all's like stress management changed since all of this happened?
It's definitely chaotic. And I mean that in like a good sense. I've definitely been, there are moments of the week where I have to do specific things. Like my TV schedule is just like a really good indicator of the week. Like I know what days I'm gonna watch certain things. And I know what days like I can hang out with people. Like my friends have gotten mad at me on like Call of Duty because I'm like, hey guys, like I gotta watch Westworld because it's Sunday. And if I don't watch Westworld, then the whole week is thrown off and like I gotta watch this. It's okay. I'll be back in an hour or whatever. So that's been keeping me like an intense, like strict schedule. That and work, like working remotely, I always start my day like with sending an email at like 8 in the morning and then I start. But if I like get sick or like, I don't know, I have like an ear problem now. And so I'm like, I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna go to the doctor later on today, but like, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, having that like kind of strict schedule of like forcing myself to wake up no matter if like I didn't get too much sleep. Like I always have my alarm clock waking me up before 8 and then just starting the day regardless. What else? A lot of Netflix. I don't know. I'm like not like a person who streams too much, but like I have been recently. So I guess that's been helping a little bit, especially with Netflix Party, where you get to like, you know, watch Netflix and then have a chat.
I haven't done that yet. I need to do it.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Definitely, I would recommend it. And I think yesterday we played like a Cards Against Humanity online, which was super fun. And like it was like the first time that we didn't have to play video games. We didn't have to like FaceTime each other. We just like called each other all at once, and we just like laughed as we were like putting cards down. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the closest interaction that I have. And like I'm an extrovert, so I've been having this issue so long. Like, you know, I had to like put my check for rent today, and I was like looking for people so I could like be like, hello. No, I had to put it in a box because no one was there, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll go back to my apartment. I haven't seen a physical person in like 8 days. This is like, was it? It's turning into either Inception or that Matt Damon movie where he's just on Mars himself. That's basically my life right now.
Just take like a walk around your block or something like. I'm sure you're gonna see some humans. I
yeah.
see humans in our neighborhood. Yeah.
I want to start streaming. But so at the beginning of all of this, there were a total of myself included, 8 people in this house.
Wow.
I was not happy.
Yeah.
There was so much noise and loud talking and people playing games in the living room with the volume up and people watching shows with the volume up really loud, and it's just like I'm going nuts.
Yeah.
But like we're now down to 7 people in total right now. But ever since I got my Switch and Nathaniel and I have set up in the back room with like our laptops and everything. It's just so much more quieter. I put a sign on the door yesterday, because yesterday was my first day back at work since spring break, and I was like, school in progress, do not disturb, and I just kept the door closed for the entire day. But for me personally, I'm an extreme introvert, so we're opposite there, Ray. I like it. I like it a lot. I don't have to really interact with people as much. I play games, mainly Animal Crossing lately. Um, and there's this one relaxing game that I would totally recommend, and it's called The First Tree. And that's actually where my background is from. My virtual background is from a picture from The First Tree. And it's about someone who basically has a dream, and he tells his wife about his dream, and there's this fox looking for her babies. And so she goes on this entire journey. It takes 2 hours in total to play the game. It's a very short game, but it just has like this beautiful message, and it has all of this amazing music that's really soothing and relaxing. And so like I played that through.
Called The First Tree.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it's on Steam, and it was on sale, so I bought it a while ago. But it's originally only $8.
What is Steam?
Okay,
What is
so
Yeah.
Oh my God, I know. I'm like, I know what like Steam is, like OG Steam, but I don't know what Steam is that you're referencing to. What is it?
So Steam is basically an application that you can have on your computer, or your phone. I mean, you can't download games on your phone, but so it's mainly for the computer, and it's for PC-based games. And let's see, how do I explain this? You can have a very vast library. So like a few of my friends have like up to 300 plus games. Yup. There's free to play games, and then there's games that you can just buy. And they can vary. There's RPG, there's MMOs, there's
What is it?
action. I think I don't remember what MMO means.
So much right
Just
now.
like multiplayer, like online games or stuff like
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the multiplayer online thing. Yeah. I don't remember what it stands for. I'm still like iffy on the terminology, but I've been using it. See, how long have I known for Nathaniel? Known Nathaniel for 6.5 years, so I've had Steam for 5 years. And so basically, yeah, you just you get to have all of these bunch of different games, and there's a Steam community, and they can create deals. Like they can create mods, and you can buy downloadable content, and there's just Slime Rancher is another game I recommend to play because it's also really relaxing, and you can get it from Steam, and it's really cute.
Nice.
I want to get any homework done.
Yeah. I'm like, for all of our video game people that are watching right now, like, I hope y'all are downloading this because I have no idea what. I kind of have an idea of what Gabby's talking about, but I've definitely never visited it. But yeah, no, I agree, Chelsea. Like, I would not get a lot done.
Forget to shower, forget to eat.
Yeah. I'm lucky enough to get up and shower right now, like in the morning. That's like the first thing I do because I'm like, if I don't do it right now, I'm just gonna forget about it, which makes me sound really gross, actually. So I wish you could cut that out. But
I'm pretty sure
I
like
shower every single day.
I'm pretty sure there's multiple people there that's like watching this and they're like, man, I forgot too. Oh my gosh. Like
Yep. And the days go by just so fast. It's like, when did I last shower? Then you think about it, and it's like,
yes.
I don't think I've showered in like a week.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, oh, oops.
Chelsea, how have things looked differently for you since this all has happened?
I have to have people do stuff for me, which sucks because, I'm an independent woman. I don't need anybody in my life. um, JK, but I need people in my life. But for now, it's so weird having to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very grateful for folks who are taking the time out of their schedules to talk to me and ask me hey, do you need anything? Because they know what the type of person I am. I
Yeah.
don't necessarily reach out and ask for help. I do it myself first, and then if I can't do it, then that's where I start asking folks.
Mm-hmm.
But in this situation, I can't risk anything, so I would, when I ask for help from certain people, they can tell the way that I do certain things on a daily task,
Mm-hmm.
why is it so structured, for example, picking up my medication, stopping by my house to get my ID, um making sure I give the address to them, the location, the
Yeah.
hours, and then when should they come back, and are they even trustworthy to do all of this for me. So there's a small um group of people who I have been in contact with who are out there helping me out. And so that's very, very good in the sense that I've never had that happen to me before the pandemic. Um in terms of I think right now people are realizing the reality for us.
Right.
It's oh yeah, I feel bad. Yeah, this is what we have to live day by day now during the pandemic. And then with me, I've noticed that I need to talk to people more.
Mm-hmm.
I can't enjoy my Netflix shows just by watching with myself.
Yeah.
I
Do it with us,
yeah,
Chelsea.
yeah. I
With
need to talk to people, especially unpacking a lot of the stuff that goes in the movie.
Yeah.
Just real injustices and stuff. But my partner doesn't like talking about that. Anyways, um, um, but I've noticed that recently, and also I'm FaceTiming a lot with people, just because it, I don't know, just doing things at home, and I know I'm stuck at home for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
It just gets tiring. I can't go out, and if I do want to go out, usually it's to the boba shops or going to eat at restaurants with my sisters and friends. But I can't do that, so maybe I could do that over FaceTime.
Yeah.
Cook with friends, hey, what are you cooking? Maybe we should cook the same thing.
Right.
So it makes it fun. Yeah. So that's what I've been doing. Um, I try not to be too zoned into deep into the stress,
Yeah.
because then my mind just I start getting emotional and I start venting to my close people. And then they're like, it'll be fine. I'm like, no, stop saying that. Just listen to me. I'm venting right now. They're like, oh, okay. Sometimes I've noticed that I'm venting more and expressing my emotions just because I feel this pandemic is pressuring me to be in my emotions and sit with it. And there's also this pressure with having to be creative. Um, People are doing TikToks. You can be TikTok famous, or people are doing all these types of videos, and I'm over here in my PJs and sweats,
Yeah.
eating my second box of Girl Scout cookies.
Damn, thinking about more, bro.
Yeah.
I got golden Oreos yesterday. I got the thin ones to make myself feel better, but that sleeve is gone.
Yeah. So, but I have to remind myself during this time, for folks, it may be that being creative is their way of dealing with stress, but it's not me.
Right.
I have to just do the things that I can do now. And like what you said, Alma, echoing that part, using the strategy that is less often used to like boost it up because that's the only one that works for now, you know.
Yeah.
Not hating on any of the TikTok dancers, like you go ahead and do that. I'm gonna enjoy liking the post and resharing it, hype you up. But I feel like there there just needs to be more push um with having conversation about this. I feel like yes, it's like fun to be able to do all of these creative things,
Mhm.
but we can't leave the people who are like who aren't creative left in the dust, you know. So
Mhm.
inviting them to conversations and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry to bring down the.
No, that's
Oh,
not
oh
being
yeah, no,
that's being
definitely.
realistic. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
And I think it does a good job of like just bringing to the last point of like what students can do. Definitely like, it's been thrown into most students' mind of just quickly adjusting to remote learning and just keeping up with being the 4.0 student that you are.
Mhm.
But you really gotta realize this is hard for everybody, and
Yeah.
you just gotta be realistic with yourself. And I know there's a lot of people who are planting and walking their dogs and wanting to build a shed and like doing all this creative stuff like Chelsea said, but like I'm not that person either. Like I just want to like do the normal things that I want to do but I can't. And so now I'm
Mhm.
at this place where I'm like, I'm gonna go take a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so just yeah.
I was just gonna say, I think especially with this time, I don't think everyone's gonna find like even right now, like I have some things that I'm trying to do, but I don't like it doesn't work all the time. So I feel like in this
Mm.
process we are all still learning like what our stress management looks like in this type of environment. So definitely just like I feel like we all need to be patient with ourselves and kind with ourselves about this because I definitely feel you, Chelsea. Like if I think about this too much, I get really emotional.
Yeah.
Um, it's just really easy to do that. So finding people, but yeah, hit me up. We'll watch something on Netflix party. We can just dissect some things. We can watch some documentaries and get all political and stuff. So
Tiger King.
yeah,
Tiger King.
I'm watching it right now. I'm
Yes.
watching episode 3 tonight. So
Chelsea,
Watch it whenever. What episode?
okay, watch the first 2 episodes and you can do the Netflix party with us tonight after I'm done with my classes.
well, we're running a long time, so I just wanted to give Gaby a thank you for joining us in our episode today.
Thank
You're
you for
welcome
having me.
time. And I just wanted to let everybody know that next week is our Netflix episode. Yes, this is the one that we've been waiting for a long time. And our special guest will be M.
Back.
Yes. So M's gonna be back. And yeah, we'll have this time. It'll be around this time that we'll upload our video, and we hope that you have a wonderful day, guys.
Thanks,
Stay safe.
Gabby.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd love to come back at some point.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, I guess that will conclude another episode of.
What are you?
You.
All right, guys.